morning. Hi, everyone. I hope you're happy to see me. I'm happy to see you. We have a Bondi Blue show for y'all before we get into scripted TV later on, where we're going to talk about queens, sisters, and our kind of people. All of which were good as far as I was concerned. More so queens and our kind of people than sisters, but it's okay. Okay? It's okay. We'll get into it. Okay? So, first of all, y'all, let's go ahead and get into the Jenny Nguyen of it all. Okay, the Jenny Nguyen of it all. I didn't even want to waste any time. Okay, y'all know this is Jenny. If y'all don't know, this is Jenny from Salt Lake City. Okay, now I mentioned her in my power review yesterday because it was like so much racism yesterday, like just a lot. You know what I'm saying? So I just want Black people to, like, at your jobs, when there are microaggressions and you are made to feel uncomfortable by anybody, especially people who are clear and clear adjacent, mention it. Stop not saying anything. Stop acting like this is just what you have to deal with. Anytime as a Black person that you are made to feel uncomfortable in your workplaces, in stores, complain. Complain, complain, complain. Okay? That's what I need for us to start doing. Cry, complain. I need for it to be on record that we have a problem. I need it to be on record that we have an issue, that we're being made to feel uncomfortable. I need for y'all to remember that, okay? If I didn't say anything else to y'all, for y'all to remember that, okay? Because everybody loves to act as if Black people are overreacting, as if, oh, we're the ones always making it about color. Right, it's us. It's not everybody else acting like an asshole and obsessing about us in some weird ass way. And then when we point out that, hey, you're obsessing about us in this weird ass way, y'all decide that y'all want to act as if Black people are overreacting. Everybody that watches Real Housewives of Salt Lake City felt that something was wrong with Jenny. When Jenny wanted to make a big deal out of someone calling her particular almond-shaped eyes beautiful, but using a word that she didn't like, she ran it into the ground. And all of us were like, why do you have all this energy for Mary? What is this about? And then in the last episode, I did not mention it in my review, but that comment about growing up in Long Beach, so she knows how to swoop her hair up and take her earrings off and let's go girl and all of this. But yet, all it took was someone to go back to 2020 of your Facebook for them to find that you're ignorant as you have an issue. Something is wrong with you. And I think that something is wrong with all of the people that spend time finding posts about Black people, finding posts about the times that police have been brutal to us, trying to find all of these like little videos, pictures, memes to prove that Black people are overreacting to what happens to us in this country, while simultaneously benefiting off of all of the strife that Black people have had to go through. So let me just break it down for those who don't understand. In 1964, which was 58 years ago, Martin Luther King and all of the Black people that fought during the Civil Rights Movement fought for the Civil Rights Act of 1964. Okay, if I'm correct. This is what made it possible for every other ethnicity that was not considered white to come into America and buy up property and buy up land and open stores in urban communities, open businesses in urban communities, get tax breaks, okay? Like a lot of what we fought for when we, as our ancestors, were being brutalized in the streets, having dogs sicked on them by police officers, being bashed in the head, being killed, being strung up by trees, all of which we can find recent stories that this is still happening. All of which. We can find recent stories about lynchings. We can find recent stories about dismemberment of Black bodies. We can find recent stories of police brutality. We can find recent stories of judges holding different people to different standards, giving Latina and Black people more time than they do white counterparts. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jenny. Your 2020 post that you were so adamant. I mean, several posts, you guys. Let me just go. I want to read just a few of the posts to you guys. I'm sick of people playing I'm sick of people saying cops need more training. Why are you sick of people saying that cops need more training when there was literally a study that showed that police officers in other countries, more developed, well-ran countries, their police officers have to have degrees. Their police officers have to have went to some type of college, not just picked off of a bump on a fucking log and given a badge and a gun with no real formal training or understanding of what your job really entails. And also, Jenny Nguyen, if you were actually from this country for real, maybe you would know. Maybe you would be aware, I don't know, of everything that Black people have had to go through so that you can come to America from Vietnam, okay, because she is Vietnamese, okay? So that you can come here and live well because of all of the things that Black people have had to go through. I'm sure you don't know that. And I'm also sure that you don't know the history of police officers, because if you knew the history of police officers, then you would know that police officers came from a specific group that was being paid and given the job to catch slaves and bring them back. They were called slave catchers, okay? And then throughout time, throughout the years, as Black people became citizens and no longer slaves, the police then became the police. And now we're policing everybody, but specifically, we're policing Black people. Specifically, we're rounding up and killing Black people at large numbers. And it's so funny. Asian people, do you really think that this is not happening to you because you're doing all of the right things? Is that really what you think? When people have created documentaries, movies, television shows, articles, books, there is a plethora, there is an access of information for you to digest so that you don't get online where there is all of this information at your fingertips to say things like, you had 18 years to teach your kid it's wrong to loot, steal, set buildings ablaze, block traffic, laser people's eyes, overturn cars, destroy buildings, and attack citizens. Who failed who? That's what she said about Black people. That's what she said about us. Because all of us are doing that, right? Because every single time that a Black person is accosted by a police officer, assaulted, killed, harmed by a police officer in a random traffic stop, they were doing all of this, right? They were right, Jenny? Okay, that's what she said. Okay. She went on to say hundreds of Blacks shot and many killed, including children, by other Blacks every week. Child, I love this argument as if Asian people have not been killing Asian people. Ma'am, why exactly were you running from Vietnam? Is it because there was Asian on Asian killing? Is it because the Vietnamese were killing the Vietnamese? Let us know. Let us know, because there's a whole war that a whole bunch of Black people died in called the Vietnam War, okay, that ruined the lives of a lot of Black people that went to Vietnam and saw terrible things during that war. That didn't have nothing to do with us. That was about saving y'all from the Viet Cong. I mean, there's some bullshit to it, but you know, the fairy tale story is that America got involved in Vietnam to, you know, help. So it's really funny to me that somebody that benefited so heavily from Black people has so much to say about us in this negative way. Ma'am, if it were not for us and us fighting in the streets doing the very things that you have villainized in all of your posts. These very things that Black people took place in the 50s, in the 60s, when they were fighting for civil rights, when you say they were damaging property and such things, the same things that people are doing in 2019, 2020, 21, all of these current years, we're doing what we were taught how to do whenever y'all treat us like shit. Okay, so it's the same behavior. It is the same protests that have happened, okay? For the same reason, mistreatment of Black people, Black and brown people specifically, which y'all love to fall in line with when it's convenient for you, correct? Miss Jenny Nguyen? Wouldn't even be here if it were not for Black people not only fighting in your country, but then coming over here and fighting for civil rights here so that you and your family can be considered white adjacent after all of our struggle, while we still get treated like shit. And then you get your ignorant ass online to talk about shit you don't even fucking know about, so that you can prove that you're white, right? So that you can prove you're on white folks' side. She said over 1,000 officers violently injured, some permanently, by rioters. Hey, honey, that's the job. That's the job. If you don't want to get harmed by criminals and vagrants and everybody, like if you don't want to be harmed, don't be police officers. Go do something that's a little safer. But don't become police officers and then use police brutality as a way to explain away. Use what happens to police officers as a way to explain away police brutality. You sound crazy. You sound crazy. That's like saying we're so mad at the smoke because firefighters are getting smoke inhalation. What the fuck are you talking about? They signed up for this. Figure out a way to deal with it. Okay? Either way, anarchists, rioting anarchists. You mean like the people that took over the Capitol on January 6, 2021? Is that what you meant? Is that what you meant? The anarchists? Because those are the anarchists that I recall. Is that the ones you were talking about? I'm sure that's the ones you voted alongside. Those were the real anarchists. Yes, we still think police officers are the problem, Genuine. We do. We think the whole system of racism that has been put in place and perpetrated for hundreds of years to keep their foot on Black people's necks because they're so scared that we're going to rise up and do to them what they have done to us for hundreds of years now. So yes, we do. We're idiots. No, bitch, you're an idiot because you're now apologizing for this shit that was still on your Facebook page until you deleted it yesterday. Bravo, have y'all said anything? Have y'all said anything? Let us know. And see, this is the reason why nobody really wanted to go in on Mary like that for the slanted eye comment, because everybody knows what real prejudice and racism looks like. We know what it really looks like. And you're what it really looks like, not someone commenting on how the shape of your eyes is attractive. And guess what, honey? The only reason Mary thinks that your slant of eye is attractive is because white people have fetishized Asian people in our society. So everybody views them as exotic and beautiful because white people have deemed them as so. Just so we're clear on why the comment about your eyes. And I wonder who was the first person to refer to your eyes as a negative. It probably wasn't the Black people who also have those same facial features in Africa. It probably wasn't them.
The totally reinvented Always Ultra Thin.
It probably wasn't them. I wonder who it was. Okay, I'm done. I'm done. Oh, y'all are in the comments talking